All right, what's up, everyone? This is Senior Tiger here. I'm here with my guys Cam and PandaDragon, and we're gonna be talking about Spark and Zero, our thoughts with this first, second trailer, and hopes, dreams, falls, everything like that. And we're gonna go ahead and dive right into it. All right, y'all still there?
Oh yeah, I
Yeah,
didn't.
yeah.
Well, I know one of my first things that I spoke with Mordo about at work was for this game in particular, I really want unique attacks like animations. He mentioned prior to me when we were at work, not having the same volley attacks and after images and all of that. Just
Yeah,
real unique attacks and animations for the game.
yeah, that's definitely a double-edged sword because if you have like a really good roster and my bad, a small roster with unique attacks, it can be a real small roster. But if you have a big roster, you'll have a lot of repetitive stuff, kind of like Echo Fighters from Smash.
Yeah, no, that's actually a really good point. So then I guess what's like the sweet spot then for the
Where
attack?
it's like how many characters, who is like
And
Also, like, are they going to like split up Goku again and have like early Goku, mid Goku, towards the end Goku? Like are
exactly.
we gonna get like clone characters and Goku just gonna be all in one to where he can transform, or are we just gonna get multiple ones that have like limited transformation?
Oh man, so like during that time frame, or like they did in the previous games, just have it if you select a certain time frame Goku, he can only go Super Saiyan, or he might have heart virus or something like that. You
yeah,
know.
Yeah,
maybe they'll do how you equipped it. Was it Budokai 3 that did that?
Uh,
yeah, I believe
yeah.
so.
Yeah, you could equip transformation. You could only go from base form to that one. I remember.
And I think that would be dope, honestly, because that way, there's still, obviously in Fighter Z, there's obviously a meta in characters. There's still gonna be a meta of characters in this game, but it could be more like a party game. So instead of you having to feel like to be all powerful and go Super Saiyan 3, hey, you can just stick more with your Super Saiyan form from the Frieza arc, which is known as the strongest form at that time.
Man, see, that'd be really cool because if they had wanted to go like get a little ambitious and include a manga character, like a really good counter to transformation would be Moro. Because you read the manga, you know I'm not gonna say nothing in case spoilers. But if you read it,
Man,
you
that's
know.
actually I would have spoiled the mess out of these people. You ain't read it by now.
I,
You
that's
will.
a whole
You will.
get into the whole. Oh, if you want to experience or read the manga, now we ain't finna do that.
Oh, now speaking about the manga, would y'all like to see any of the manga characters, or do you think they're going to actually implement that into the game? What are your thoughts about that?
I would. It would be nice if they did. I can't really see them doing it though. Like Mordo honestly be a good one.
Mm-hmm.
Even Ultra Ego Vegeta, I think would be a really really good one. Like even honestly before Mordo, like if they really want to just go type with their manga characters,
Mm-hmm.
at least Ultra Ego, just that way there's just something else to kind of go part apart with Ultra Instinct Goku. But
Right.
yeah, I don't really know if I can see them adding any
Right,
like manga materials on there.
right. If they did, I would love to see them. If they, like had like a story mode, kind of like a promotion where you would go through the story mode to the manga parts, and it would just be panels from the manga with voiceovers with it.
Right.
Hey, that would be nice actually.
Oh yeah, kind
I
of give
would,
them a sneak peek preview. They want more. Hey, go read the manga.
Right. Well, with Daima coming out, do you think that they're actually gonna even go back to that part of Super with Granola, and or you think they're gonna include that in Daima?
I think that would
Uh,
be included. I
I
don't know
mean,
about I don't know about first release. Maybe as
Mm-hmm.
a DLC, it might eventually get incorporated in some way.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that I guess even the same for the manga stuff. Like if somehow the manga ends up getting like a movie adaptation or the anime finally comes back, then maybe as a DLC, I can see
Mm-hmm.
both of those getting added in there.
Well, with that adaptation added to the game, I mean, from what I think I know, if it hasn't been animated, manga's one thing, but if it hasn't been animated, I really doubt it's going to be in the game. And I watched a couple other videos, kind of saying that there's a highly unlikely chance that it's going to be in the game, but there's still that chance. So,
DLC. Look how long they supported Xenoverse too. It definitely could be DLC.
And Universe 2 people eating right now.
oh man, speaking of Xenoverse 2, I remember they released Orange Piccolo and Beast Gohan before we actually seen them, even in the movie, if I'm
You
right.
serious?
Yeah, yeah. I
No.
remember playing with it
Oh,
and saying, "Hey, apparently Gohan can do this and that." And I was like, "I
Man,
haven't seen
I
him."
like the Broly movie trailer all over again, where they showed Gogeta months before he came out in the movie.
I mean, it's not a bad way to do like a promo. I guess you got something coming up. I
True.
mean, I guess at the same time you are kind of also doing like a bit of a spoiler towards the actual story because I didn't know that about
Hmm.
Steve Gohan or Orange Piccolo. I don't play universe like that,
Right.
but I could see that being like a little 50-50 thing.
So some other things that we might or that I'm looking forward to in the game is, a lot of people are on about non-permanent, semi-permanent, and permanent damageable arenas. What are your thoughts about that? Because I'm more on the alongside of wanting semi-permanent destruction. Um, I wish there was a good way for me to dive into that. I mean, I think it'll be a little boring if you were able to destroy an entire planet and now you're just fighting in space. But
I mean, honestly, I'm finna get a little ambitious because I know they can handle what modern different sport. You can destroy buildings and stuff. It stays. You blow up the planet. You just fight around space. You get into like a class. You'll land on like another planet you've been to, like Namek or something.
mm-hmm.
You go on fighting from planet to planet. It also be a really cool reference to the Granola arc when Goku was fighting. What's his name? Gas. He was
Yeah.
hopping around planets. That'd be a cool reference.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Now that'd be smooth.
You think they'll include that sensing feature that was on the previous Budokais? In
Hell
order
no.
to find your opponent. I mean, it'll be like when Paikon was facing off against Goku, he couldn't find him, and he was like standing on the moon or whatever.
Man, it'd be cool if you could though.
But then, how fast
That'd be
could
awesome.
anyone get there?
I mean, these guys can fly like stupid fast over the speed of light. They should be able to fly over planets and stuff. Get ambitious. Come on, it's gonna sell regardless. So go ahead and go all out.
I agree. So like when you say semi-permanent, like I guess we're just talking like just buildings and stuff being destroyed.
I mean, I could see buildings and stuff like that, but what I mean when I say semi damage, there's two definitions that I mean that by. So obviously, there's some stuff that's on the map that could be damaged and beyond repair. For example, you fight on the cell tournament arena and you
Yeah.
destroy most of the arena. Yeah, that's permanently damaged. But let's say you were
I
to kind of eliminate the area around it, yeah, it'll be destroyed. You get knocked somewhere else, and it kind of come back. It just doesn't come back then, and it's like semi-permanent. Just the permanent areas are just that's the semi part, and then the semi-permanent is also that area that is temporarily destroyed until you like leave the area or something and come back and it's back. Besides like that area that's meant to be permanently damaged.
Okay.
Yeah, honestly, with modern gaming and technology, there's no excuse for them to not do permanent damage. Because I've been playing Final Fantasy 16, and whenever you destroy environments and games, like even when you walk around in the snow, the track state. Not, I'm sorry, that was God of War Ragnarok. My mistake. Because I was walking around the snow with Kratos, the trails, the bodies of blood, they were all stay there, so you can run away, then come back, and it's still there. So there's no excuse.
Yeah, I agree. I can understand your point also, though, more just because like visually it just would look better if you be looking at anything else but just rocks and land of nothing.
Mm-hmm.
But also though, if I'm throwing out like a big blast though, I'm also expecting nothing to be there though at the same time.
When they blow up stuff. So just extra layer of realism and attention to detail. If the destruction stays, it really adds that gravity and weight to. Oh damn, he just destroyed a building.
Yeah,
Right.
because if I throw like a big bang attack and you dodge and it hits the ground, I want to see that mark still there throughout the rest of the fight.
Right, like kind of how fighters does their stuff like dramatic finishes, but let us see the aftermath of the damage.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, it. what I like about Fighter Z in terms of that is you have to be on a very specific map with a certain chain of characters. Obviously, all of them you just use a heavy or something along those lines to activate that, dramatic finish.
It does, but it's just super specific, and the odds of it happening are just
Speaking of no detail, but I will hope that they still add because Fighter Z doesn't do it. If there's like a big explosion, whatever color blast they did, that's the same color I want to see like during the big explosion.
Oh
That's like
man,
if I think like Fighter, you can be like marching through and just level one. That's just nothing but pink. But yeah,
right,
when they saw the outside of it, it goes right back to just like your regular reddish orange explosion. So it's a
right.
small detail that I just feel like 2024. That's just something I would like to see personally.
I mean, with that being said, would you, because I know how it played back in some of the previous games, would you? I'm just gonna use this as reference. I didn't like it, but Battle of Z, when you would use your ultimate attack or something, and it was it was the same animation. It was all just like very basic. You know what I mean? And it was just like if it was Majin Buu, it was the same animation as like something else, and it was just a different color. You know what I mean? No, no.
yeah.
So that sounds lame. I didn't play Battle of Z, so
I did.
I can't really see the middle of like what you're saying.
It's
But
lazy.
what I'm
It was
trying to think
super
of in my
lazy.
head, that sounds awesome. Don't do that.
I hope
But
they don't do
I
that.
really do want, I want them to be hopefully as detailed as Arc System was for Fighter Z.
Right.
Like obviously they don't have to copy Arc System, down to everything, but for the amount of detail that they did put into that game for a 2D fighting game, I am
Hmm.
expecting them to also give it that same amount of detail and attention.
I mean, there's a high chance that they can do it. I mean, look, if you look at the, I don't know if you guys can see the YouTube video, but in terms of like the setting and everything, it seems like I don't want it to be like no E3 or anything. I'm just going based off of what I'm seeing now. It looked very possible. I don't know. I'm hoping the maps are still kind of big and spacious, and it takes time. Like if you're flying, I want to see. Like if I get hit real hard, I want to be flying to whatever direction they hit me in, and then they're able to catch up and follow up with some other attack. But I'm just,
Right. It's
mm,
there's just so much they can do with modern technology in a modern Dragon Ball game. Like just look at how far smaller games have pushed the scope on a smaller budget in the past, and look what we can do with modern gaming and budget. So it's like there's no excuse. Dragon Ball is a big name. You will make the money back, so give it to us.
especially compared to the previous games that came
Oh,
before this. You know,
the
probably why they weren't so great.
Xenoverse saved the Dragon Ball fighting games because didn't nobody play Raging Blast or Burst Limit?
Right.
Hey,
It.
for real though, like even though I'm not a big fan of it, it is pretty much Xenoverse and Fighter Z that keeps like the whole Dragon Ball thing just carried as its only that pretty much.
Right,
Right.
because we already know we was in hell with the games being the same story over and over.
I mean, I would say that's for especially for consoles, but in terms of like, don't forget about mobile because mobile gaming is really up there. We have our, there even though it's not exactly fighting, it's like they came up with different sides of it. So they have like their strategy, which is Dokkan, and then obviously like a mobile kind of 3D fighters, which is Legends, which has an interesting take on it. Um,
A gotcha game.
yeah,
That's
I mean, they kind of been keeping it alive too.
no, yeah,
Mm,
like you're not lying. Like even if I'm not a fan of majority of those, there
Hmm.
is at this point an avenue for just anything for Dragon Ball. So if you're into like the more competitive part of it, like I am, then you're probably gonna lean more towards like Fighter Z. But if you
Right.
don't mind stuff like the more open world stuff like that, being able to play with more friends, you're probably going to be a little bit more into like the universe stuff like that. Or if you just want to do a costume kids, then you got less. Hell,
Right.
even for the people who want to play hide and seek with their friends, you still got the breakers. I'm not going to play hide and seek, but there's still a community out there, people who are still playing that game also.
Just so you can, I I just thought about it when we were talking about the ultimates and stuff like that. I'm gonna see if this plays. So take a look at this. Like,
yeah,
there's just yeah, it's a disappointment, man.
Oh, so like everybody does this.
Yeah. I might skip through this a little bit.
Yeah, this was a Dragon Ball game before we had Super. I think. No, it's right.
No, no,
Yeah,
no.
right after Battle of
This,
God.
yeah, this is right after Battle of Gods, but it was also right before Xenoverse 1 came out. Xenoverse 1 really fixed it. But look at the animation for this, right? And then I'm going to skip forward and go to like a different one. Obviously, this is dope, but yeah, yeah. That.
It looks so bad.
Hey, what was this on?
This was
Crazy
on
man.
PS3. All right,
During
so
the that
Really?
would. Uh,
this was like PS3, Xbox 360.
Really?
You know,
I ain't gonna lie. I would guess this was like PSP.
Could like, whoa.
Yeah, that's just straight up like who makes
I never actually looked into it.
it? It's funny.
What is that model? What is going on?
You know, my problem about this game was the model designs for the feet, right? The feet were like the most irritating part of it, man.
Defeat got your attention.
Yeah. This is
All right.
I can't help but laugh, my bad. I'm just like this is incredibly
I,
funny.
Wait, wait, so other than
what?
the other than the ultimate and the graphics, does the rest of the game actually play good?
Besides the round of
uh it's a one button mash.
Oh, all right. So would you rather play this or ultimate?
Oh, I play Ultimate Tekaichi over this with the passion.
God, it's like old cartoons like Samurai Jack, how they would do a still pose and just have the mouth move and have like speed lines in the background to emulate movement. That's what it looks like.
Right. But the only reason I actually got this game was because at the time I was craving a game called Zenkai Battle Royale. I was desperately wanting that game. So, and then when I saw this, I was like, okay, this might be like Zenkai Battle Royale. And you know, obviously it's only in
Oh,
Japan. But yeah, that's the laziness I'm talking about. Like this laziness, this
Um,
yeah.
monstrosity.
That Dragon Ball has a good list. I feel like of games that actually flop.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully, Tenkaichi 4 doesn't get put into that category.
Budokai Tenkaichi 4?
Sparks and Zero, whatever, man, you know.
Yeah. Uh
But no, but hopefully it doesn't fall into like the breaker for Ultimate Tenkaichi or this shit. That looks horrible.
it is. Like I said, this game came out previously and it looked so much better than that. You know what I mean? So
Is that before or after Raging Blast?
this is after Raging Blast.
That
yep.
was
And,
after.
and this is Zenkai Battle
Uh,
Royale. This the
okay.
game I was craving, and this was before Battle Z actually came out. Now, if
Is
Zenkai,
that the model?
what's up?
Is that the Jump Force model?
Yeah, it is, but it's actually a little better than the Jump Force models. And this came out before Jump Force. I mean, yeah, this
Ah,
came out. This came out before J Star.
I love J Stars.
Man, J Star is amazing. But this is my ideal Dragon Ball game. Besides the invulnerability when you get hit or so, just like in J Star, and I think maybe Jump Force. I mean, this is what I'm aiming for in terms of a Dragon Ball game. Transformations and all, and it has a good amount of characters on here. But it's only available in Japan. The Broly, oh my gosh, he actually feels and look like Broly. You know what I mean?
Should have got a VPN.
Right. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and let this play in the background. I guess we can go ahead and get to more of the other points. So one of the things we kind of spoke about just briefly is I would, me and Mortar, we talked about, or me and Panda, we spoke about this at work, and I think it would be a good decision if they were to have some form of power scaling, the speed of the characters, movements and attacks and all of that. You know, for the character. Like, I don't want to be a Cyberman and able to beat Super Saiyan 4 Goku. I would want any Cyberman could beat Ribriando, but I want them to at least make it to where they can, you know, be realistic to the anime, or if not, at least have a party mode and then a realistic power scale mode at least.
Yeah, I can see what you're going for. Like if weaker characters going against somebody stronger, it'll do less damage. So you have to like be really skillful with the character to make it work.
Exactly. That
So if you get beat, you can't call BS. Like they genuinely beat you.
Yeah, one of the sort of like downtown Xenoverse houses, so I guess this previous Tenkaichi game. So like
mm-hmm.
obviously you're thinking like hey Gohan versus Ultra Instinct Goku. Yeah, like your health bar is going to be a lot less. Your damage is going to be less. You probably won't make Goku flinch and stuff like that.
Ex-
But at the same time, I don't want it to where it's just like one or two hits and then Gohan is just out for the count. Like I want to be able to still pick up anybody, but yeah, I still do want like a little bit of like that realistic balance to it.
right, and that's that power scaling aspect to it.
Yeah.
So, or that party game aspect to it. This is pretty darn close to probably everyone's most ideal Dragon Ball game. One problem as well that me and Panda spoke about at work was it should be a no brainer. Everyone should be able to charge up. Don't have it as a skill that you can equip on the character. At least hold
Oh
down on a D pad. That's
Hey,
ridiculous.
pretty much
yeah,
everything they did on Xenoverse, it's almost like don't do that.
That was beyond ridiculous. And I mean, you have a slow, fast, medium, fast, starts slow and ends up going faster, starts super fast but goes slow for burst charging. I'm like, all that is ridiculous in my opinion.
right. It's like that's a standard for all the games. Why is it a skill thing now?
Exactly. And knowing that there's not really any good ways to chain that with any attacks or anything that anyone does. I mean,
Right. It kills a lot of momentum.
Just a waste of a slot at that point.
it is. You could have had it for absolutely something else that could have aided you in battle, and that's what you're using. You can probably have a better skill set layout than everyone else, but you'll never know now because now you need to be able to charge. So instead of holding down on the D-pad like on Raging Blast or holding the guard button and key button to charge, now you're wasting time. With how advanced mechanics and stuff are for modern games, that should be a no-brainer in my opinion.
Now, you think since this game is now coming out in 2024, do you think there's going to be some type of new, I guess, like comeback mechanic on this game?
I can see that being the case, honestly. If there was a comeback mechanic, as always, obviously there's if you time the punch when it hits, you can obviously dodge, but it has to be at without being phased. Like on Fighter Z, you get hit and you have like a phase time. Um, if they were to have an aspect of that, especially if it's not a hard hit and you're able to, get out of whatever. I mean, I would kind of like that, honestly.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see if they actually do add something else. I don't know, unless they do go route of like a sparking blast or anything like that. I don't really know what else they would add. That would be either that or it's like a new mechanic overall. Unless they do go into the Xenoverse route and they do add just like stamina for like a new
No.
mechanic.
Oh my gosh. I really hope they don't do that. That would actually lure me to not get the game because now you got the Naruto storm factor to it and you have to use your resources based off and you basically win to a certain extent based off of who's the first one to make you
Yeah,
use all your stamina. It makes the game not so fun in my opinion. I'd rather use key than to use stamina. Have everything fuse as one so you can still play and still have all your resources. And I
yeah,
got
it's a
that.
little bit
Yeah.
less to worry about. Cause yeah, I definitely agree. That is how Naruto and even Demon Slayer feels like. For like once that thing is done, your stamina or your substitution is done with. At that point you're just trying to block and stay alive up until you're able to
they already kind of confirmed that there's not going to be local play, which we spoke about at work, and I was like, I mean that should be fine.
It's 50-50. Like
Mm-hmm.
I think it would be nice to still have the local play of it. Because I mean, it's a 3D arena game. I feel like any one of those is fine to make a local play.
Mm-hmm.
But obviously in 2024, it does also make sense that they just have it like online. But I don't know,
Right.
it's a fighting game, so it's kind of weird that
Yeah.
it doesn't have local play for a fighting game.
That also brings back what you spoke about earlier, especially with having a variety of modes on the game, even if you don't have like local multiplayer stuff like that. It could be like a bunch of mini games that could be like, even though you use one controller, you can hand the controller around and play and see who gets the highest score or something.
Yeah, that's dope too. But then like, I guess what makes it sad would then be or disappointing would be like if it was local play, then some of those mini games could potentially also be something two player, and in that
Mm-hmm.
way, like you and your friend just have something else you guys can do other than just fight each other. Because obviously, like sometimes, like that even goes to the online. 'Cause sometimes people, like sometimes like you just don't want to be the friend that's just always getting whooped, or you just don't feel like going head to head with your friend. Sometimes you just want to, co-op together and just fight together.
Right. But would you prefer that to be over LAN, Wi-Fi, or all that, rather than just someone come to your house and they have to like bring their own system, TV, and all of that other good
Uh,
stuff?
I'd say make it open for everybody. It just depends. So like even for like fighting games in general,
Mm-hmm.
most people are going to just like local, let's say for like tournaments and stuff like that, just because the amount of frames are a lot less, pretty much no frames if you're doing it on console to console.
Right.
But obviously not everyone can do that. Not everyone might have a friend who's into that game. So also give them the option to play, LAN or Wi-Fi. For those in Wi-Fi, still have like the Wi-Fi symbol. That way you can actually see that person's connection. If they have a bad connection, you have the option to decline that fight. But I think give them the option to do whichever one.
Earlier we spoke about, rollback for Tekken 8. With it being Bandai Namco, would you think the connection would be kind of garbage, making it unbearable to play? Because fan base at that point is going to be based off of, how good is your connection?
I'm going to have hope and say that it is going to have good rollback.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Seeing how they finally released the Fighter Z beta for the
Mm-hmm.
rollback, and that was surprisingly like really well.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, Tekken again from the beta. Tekken seems like they have some work to do, but at least they are working on some rollback, which and both of those parties are under Bandai still. So I'm
Mm-hmm.
going to hope and assume that this game will also have rollback and also be good.
Most of the games nowadays, with connection issues, it makes it unbearable to play. So,
Like honestly, at this era, like fighting games kind of have to have that roadmap for the online part of it. Like obviously for the tournaments, they'll probably still do offline tournaments because again the frames. But that's all.
mm-hmm.
That's a small margin. Like when a fighting game first comes out, you have so many new casual people trying to play, it, especially online. That
Mm-hmm.
rollback has to be on point nowadays.
Local play, shall I say? So, instead of having to worry too much about the connection, at least land wise, same connection, same, because I know they have something similar to it on the Switch, where if there's another Switch console in the same room or whatnot, you'll be able to.
Hey, for real. Unless they make a Switch too, this game better not be on the Switch.
Oh.
I know you're using it as an example, but hey, yeah, unless Nintendo come out with a Switch 2, this game should not be on. I got love for the Switch. I feel like for the amount of power this game used to have, it should not be on.
I mean, not only should it not be on the Switch, but Mortal Kombat 1, for example, shouldn't be on the Switch.
Oh yeah, man, that was hard.
But that's my personal opinion. I mean, I'm not going to speak for anyone that only has a Switch. But, if they want to use the Switch because it has most of what they want to play, by all means, do that.
Yeah, at the
Yeah.
same time, if you just don't know no better, that's one thing. But if
Mm-hmm.
you're aware of stuff like that, don't put yourself through that. Just
Right.
if you have a Switch and you don't have the means or you don't want another console,
I have three kind of bonus things that I'm gonna just throw out there. Just get your thoughts about it. So we spoke about all of these. Um, so in the game, there's a couple things that I was just asking questions about, just getting people's thoughts about it. Um, First off, flying freedom. You know, I already spoke about some of the flying freedom that you could get from like some of the previous Dragon Ball games, and there's certain directional inputs that you can go and some limitations, things like that. Um, and obviously, if you're in a Dragon Ball, more than likely you're only gonna be able to jump really high. We spoke about that. Would you still would you still want a little more directional freedom with flying, or would you kind of want it realistic to the point of the series?
Um, I guess more so just so how they had it with the old school version. So as you were saying with like Dragon Ball characters, they can't really fly. Some just jump really high. I think like Roshi and Goku can kind of float a little bit longer than usual. But
Mm-hmm.
for those, just I don't really think we didn't touch on it too much, but bring back
Mm-hmm.
like all the capsules with the different skills, and then that way, if you do want to let some of them fly, then you can give them like the flying ability. If you want to
Mm-hmm.
zap it up even more, then you can give someone like Goku or any character who has a good heart. They can
Mm-hmm.
maybe have a skill that lets them like the Nimbus, but then for all the bad characters, they can still get like a jetpack or something to still fly around.
I mean, if they were to have that on the game, and let's say, would you feel like they have to buff it up in a certain aspect as well?
Not necessarily. I mean, just off of the way it was working on the last game, I think they had it pretty perfect. So, I mean,
Mm-hmm.
if you have the skill to fly, then obviously it's going to take up a slot. So that way,
Mm-hmm.
you may not be able to make your character have as much health or as strong, however much, whatever attribute it might suffer from that because you're taking up a slot. If
Mm-hmm.
anything, maybe take up like two or three to indicate how, I guess, special it is.
Mm-hmm.
But other than that, like, as long as you can fly, you can pretty much do the same thing as all the other characters who are able to fly.
Would you say there should be some directional restrictions, or just like you said, just like everyone else, just with assistance?
No, so it's pretty much the same as everyone else. I mean, I guess if anything, maybe make.
Mm-hmm.
So I want to say maybe make like the Nimbus or the jetpack a little bit different, but at the same time, personally, I don't want any restrictions that makes people not want to use it, and then those items just become unjoyful also. So probably just
Right.
still give the freedom to feel fluid, like and pretty much make it fluid as if you're just flying normal, like you're playing, Goku or Vegeta,
Mm-hmm. That.
or even Hercule if you're using the jetpack.
What are your thoughts on super move cancels?
Cancels.
Yeah, like super move cancels. Like, let's say you're about to do a Kamehameha and you block or something like that. Would you want that in the game, or would you want that bluff, where you can kind of initiate the real attack, but you're able to block it? Obviously, you speak a lot about mix ups. So, would you want that in a game to provide that option, or um,
And I guess it would depend on how the combo is going. If it's a true combo, then I don't think they should be able to block it, unless
mm-hmm,
again they have like some type of special mechanic or comeback mechanic that allows them to do that every now and then.
mm-hmm,
But then obviously, let's say like if it's not like a true combo string, then yeah, by all means, if they have like the perfect timing and they're smart enough to kind of know when to kind of like block or instant transmission or something like that, then yeah, I think
mm-hmm.
that's fair.
What are your thoughts about this big amongst a lot of people. So there's real time animations and some kind of cutscene animations that lead straight into the attack while people are like doing things or whatever. What are your thoughts about that, and how would you
Ooh,
want that to be done?
I haven't even thought about that. So you mean if I'm like, let's say, charging up for a spirit bomb, but enemies are still like attacking me or stuff like that?
Yeah,
Oh, that's tough. I don't really know.
I mean they
Dang, I
they
didn't really think about that.
I mean they could go the Budokai Tenkaichi route, which with some obviously being with cutscenes that are predominantly stronger, and then some attacks that require charge up. You can charge
I
it
guess
up.
that also all depends on how many players can be on the screen at once.
Mm-hmm.
Because if it's just one on one, then I guess I can understand more of them doing like I guess the anime timing of it, to where there's like a whole cut scene and stuff like that. But if there's like multiple people and only like one person is getting hit with that animation,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I want to say like maybe if it's like a team thing and you can do enough hits or enough damage to like save your partner, or
Mm-hmm.
they want to where you're just completely invulnerable and you can't get hit during that. Yeah, of course, but to take that damage if you're on the other end of it.
It's nice to have all real time stuff, but if there's no time to proactively come back, or like in Ultimate Tenkaichi, everything was cutscene related, and you kind of had like an evade button, you had a counteract button, and it just depended on how much key and all of that you had, and then some with like timing and stuff. I mean, it was just ridiculous in my opinion, but I
I
mean,
guess look it up like back, and I guess if I'm trying to think about Tenkaichi 3, like even after they do the animation, once it's done, you do still have a small window to actually like teleport or block whatever it is that's coming your way.
mm-hmm,
Again, I think to me it really just also comes down to like how that's going to operate if there are more than two people fighting on the screen. If there
mm-hmm,
are more than one, this is like a team thing. Now, I would probably argue that it would be fair that if your partner is able to help you out and do enough damage to get you out of that ultimate or whatever super it might be.
mm-hmm. So would you say there should be a damage cap that, obviously there's some players that are unfazed by some attacks. Would you want that kind of damage cap to basically, kind of break their guard, or what, like be able to phase them, damage them properly?
Yeah, I think that'd be fair because I think to an extent even the older ones have that.
Mm-hmm.
I would definitely. I don't know how much they have it in, but I guess back what I was saying with helping out your partner, if they're getting hit with that ultimate animation. So let's say your partner is like a Dragon Ball character, you have Kid Goku, but it's
Mm-hmm.
like Broly who's in the middle of the animation. Sure, you can do some damage to hopefully break his guard, but it's
Mm-hmm.
also Kid Goku, so I wouldn't give him like that much damage to break the guard also. So I guess I might go back to what you were saying about the power scaling of it.
Mm-hmm.
So depending on the character, I will also vary like how much damage they're actually doing to that other character to like
Mm-hmm.
break them out of that guard.
Right.
But if you do like a ultimate or something, I will make that like an automatic. You just got out of that maybe.
Just three final things. Then we can definitely be done with this video. Um, So, what are your characters that you desire into the game, and some characters you don't want on the game? Um, what's your?
Only only characters I don't really want are just like I think his name is like Apple, whatever his name is.
Yeah.
I think it's the art. Just useless characters who just don't have enough personality or characteristics to really be shown off on the game.
Mhm.
Whoever that all covers, that's who I don't want. As
Mhm.
far as like who I am wanting, I kind of like most of the characters I personally want them to be on there. I know we already kind of spoke on it as far as
Mhm.
like the manga characters.
Yeah.
Those are probably the ones I want on there the most, or most likely want. If I can pick one out of all the main characters, it will probably be Ultra Ego still. Just because I feel like he's kind of been shown off enough in the manga to actually like make it to a full fledged character.
What are your thoughts as well about or how could they handle beam collisions, and like just collisions in general, or class
So as
collisions?
far as I make them like old school, just tap a bunch of buttons, put analog. That's all you got to do.
Would you prefer tapping over the spinning that analog stick around and around?
Personally, I might be more of an analog just because I feel like all the button mash mess up the buttons.
Yeah.
But I'm here for either or.
That kind of conclude everything that I had to say. Did you have any final thoughts or anything you wanted to put out on the video before we wrap this up?
No, I think right now this covers everything. We cannot wait to see the next trailer. That's probably when we'll come back and we'll make some more hypotheses about it.
Yeah, come out with more thoughts about it and just kind of break everything down if we have to. But
We'll
just
break more
yeah,
theories.
yeah, more theories and saying, hey, well, it looks like they have this. I can already come up with a bunch of stuff, from the trailer we saw. There's only one thing that makes me nervous, and that's just you know, if I were to knock someone back, I just want them to fly as fast as I hit them. Don't bring that delay. I want them to fly. Thank you guys for coming in. Well, Cam's not here, but thank you, Panda, for joining me on this video. I know it was a long time planning. Was able to get Randall out, but hey, it was nice being on our first collab video together. And for everyone that's watching, thank you for tuning in, scratching in for another video. And I'm gonna try to be a little more consistent. But as always, I'm just gonna do it at my own pace, and hopefully we can get Panda's channel launching here soon. He's gonna have some content, based off of more discussions, more podcasts.
Yeah,
So we're testing this out.
definitely gonna have some different type of stuff on the way outside of that.
Oh yeah. So if you guys want to join him, subscribe to his channel. We can always link it in the description box below. And thank you for tuning in. If you like the video, um, please like it. If you don't like it, dislike it. If you want to subscribe, please subscribe. Whatever else you guys want to do. I'm not going to question your judgment. Just please enjoy the video. And hey, you guys have a great day.